In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Ghost. Well, the Blessed Virgin Mary, whom we contemplate today, body and soul into heaven, reminds us very definitely that our permanent abode is not on earth, but in heaven, where she, with her divine Son, has preceded us in all the fullness of our divine nature. The feast of the Assumption, then, is a strong appeal to us to live ever intent upon heavenly things, and not to allow ourselves to be carried away by the vicissitudes and seductions of this world. And what has been entirely realized in her will be realized for us, as well as for all the saints at the end of time. This solemnity, then, is a reminder to us to ennoble our entire lives, not only the life of our spirit, but also of the senses, elevating it to the heights of the celestial life which awaits for us. So Mary's Assumption shows us the route that we must follow in our spiritual ascent, detachment from the earth and union with God. Our Lady was assumed body and soul into heaven because she was immaculate. She was all pure, free not only from every shadow of sin, but even from the slightest attachment to the things of this world, so that she never had the form of any creature imprinted in her soul, nor was she ever moved by such things. So Our Lady teaches us not to allow ourselves to be captivated by the fascinations of creatures, but to live among them, but without ever letting our heart become attached to them, without ever seeking our satisfaction in them. And secondly, Our Lady was assumed into heaven because of her great humility. God took into account her gentle self-forgetfulness all the time. She knew God too well to have anything but a low opinion of herself. God loved this stainless maiden, and she despised herself, esteeming herself the most insignificant little being in the universe, because she so well knew the majesty of God. Mary was raised to be the highest. Nothing is better known than the folly of pride. And yet, from the cradle to the grave, we are proud. We strive for precedence. We envy the advancement of other people. We argue for ourselves by contrast with other people. But to be a handmaid, to be a servant of another, we would rather die than be one. Yet the infinite God and His Immaculate Mother were happy to serve others, and they chose before all else the lowest places, and from the cradle to the grave they were glad to be humbled. We, on the other hand, live life so differently than that of our Blessed Mother. We have been born in sin, So we have to deal with our passions and with pride. And it seems that in every instance we prefer ourselves to God. In every instance, pride excites the spirit of rebellion in most of us. For a man governed by the passion of pride, God is not first and last, the beginning and the end. The proud man glories in his real or pretended qualities, as if they came from himself alone. God, therefore, is not for him the adorable source from which all blessings come. Pride deprives us of grace. As we know, prayer is the ordinary channel of grace. A proud man does not pray because he thinks he has nothing to ask for. And to pray is simply to confess our misery, to acknowledge our dependence, our weakness, our nothingness before God. No virtue, then, can exist together with pride. Neither can patience, meekness. Charity itself has no more dreadful enemy than pride. So, being encouraged by the mystery of the Assumption of Our Lady, let us struggle better against pride. And we know that darkness is dispelled by light, and falsehood by truth. Pride is a deceitful image of greatness. Everything in this vice is false. Let truth reign over our thoughts, our affections, and vanity shall have no hold upon us. So when we shall have known the infinite excellence of God and the misery of our condition, justice will compel us to render honor to whom honor is due, and to despise whatever deserve nothing but contempt. We will then say with King David, not to us, O Lord, but to your name give glory. Let us search our conscience. If we find in it one single mortal sin, don't you think that this should be sufficient to confound our pride? Our Blessed Mother wants to be our strength, our guide, our consolation, as we struggle to deal with our number one enemy, which is pride. Let us go to her, let us learn humility from her, and one day we shall join her in saying, He has done great things for me, for He has looked upon this lowly servant, and holy is His name.